I love living in Colorado. This is 30 minutes away from home. As we were driving up here to shoot this update video, we saw a herd of wildlife running across the street, and we stopped and videotaped it. And what we see, you'll see moose, you'll see deer. I haven't seen a bear yet. I saw what I think was a mountain lion once. So we're seeing a lot of really awesome wildlife out here. Our family loves it here, and the vibe, everyone's so happy. It's awesome. So this has been a major gift for 2018 through all the stress. We're able to come out here. These rocks have so much crystal in them that when we're having a lot of stress, we'll come up to the mountains and we'll put our hands and sit on the rocks and meditate on pushing that stress into the rocks, and it works like a charm. It's amazing. Well, we're all finding ourselves here at the end of 2018. It was quite a year. The last half was seemed like it compressed into like a 2 or 3 month period. It went by so quickly. We've had everything from President Trump announcing Space Force and his intentions with that. We also have the QAnon phenomenon. QAnon came out over a year ago and started dropping little nuggets of information, and now he has confirmed that there are secret space programs. So it looks like we're starting to see a culmination of things coming together as we're leading up to 2020. I think that 2020, when the Space Force is set up, if Trump can pull that off, we will have a lot more disclosures of technologies that have been hidden. So some of the things that were announced in 2018, we may look back and see this very stressful year as a linchpin towards disclosure. We also had a nice group gather up for a mass meditation up in Washington, D.C. on 11/11. We had Disclosure Fest, are the ones who organized most of it, and we're hoping to work with them a lot more in the future. They're a great group. And we had people like Leon Isaac Kennedy giving a prayer. We had a mass meditation, and we had some of our Native American friends come forward and do some of their blessings and share some of their knowledge with us. It was a really groundbreaking time. Vietnam Memorial was just adjacent to where we were, and people were curious, and I was seeing a lot of hardened military types that looked like they'd been retired for many years that would come and stick their head in the tent and listen, and some of them, their eyes would get big and they would back out as quickly as they had came in, but others would sit there and linger and listen and take notes and took a little video. So I think this information found its way back through some very interesting people. I even had a woman walk up to me and say that she was with the agencies or the company, and that things were really starting to move, and then turn around and left very quickly. Had a few very interesting things like that occur. It really seems that the deep state is about to fold, and the alliance that has been working so hard, it looks like they're really making some gains right now. So there's a lot going on in the background, even though in 2018 we haven't seen mass arrests or mass indictments yet. You know, just it always seems like it's just around the corner. So 2018 was very busy. It flew by very quickly. A lot of people are asking us what's going on with the graphic novel. Well, obviously it's been delayed. We originally expected to have it at the end of October or the beginning of November, but as many of you know, Marvel filed a trademark dispute over Return of the Guardians. They're saying that it infringes on Guardians of the Galaxy in some way. So we're working that out with Marvel right now, and continuing along with the development of the graphic novel. I can't tell you how awesome it's been to work with Stephen Cefalo. He's able to take things that I've been describing for the last few years and make them come about in a artistic way that is very accurate, but in a way that also sometimes affects me deeply. There have been a couple of scenes that we've depicted from my childhood, like there was a Christmas that my stepfather, who's a real strong Christian now, but was an alcoholic then, tore up our Christmas gifts with a hammer, and then the police came out, and it was a real upsetting scene. But when I described it to Stephen and he started to ask questions, I thought he was going to get it close, but when I saw the image pop up, it amazed me, and it brought me back to that time. It's been very interesting, and it's also been somewhat of a therapy going back through creating this graphic novel. I think it's important that we depict all of my life story and everything that happened in a graphic novel. It's a way to reach other generations, other types of people that are into graphic novels and science fiction. Their minds are primed for this information, and if we can expand their consciousness and get them interested in this community, next thing you know, we're going to have all of these new people trickling in and asking you questions. So as of right now, the graphic novel has been delayed until February on shipping. We apologize for the delay. It was obviously beyond our control. Right now we're working out a deal with Marvel. Our attorneys are working to work out a solution. So we expect that the graphic novel should be delivered in February. So, we're doing the graphic novel. We're still very excited about that. I had a flashback to pages of the graphic novel on November 3rd, 4th, I can't remember. I went in for an eye exam, and I was so anxious about going back in after I'd had the eye surgeries before. People sticking needles in my eyes, the detached retina. It took like 3 surgeries to correct. It was pretty horrible. I went into this eye doctor, and I started flashing back to images from the graphic novel that Stephen had depicted of me in the chair and the needle coming towards my eye. And the optometrist said they could see my blood pressure in my blood vessels in my eyes. And they had taken me, I had opted not to have eye drops put in my eyes so they could check my retina. And they put me in the machine where they flash lights in your eyes and take pictures. And she did it over and over because I have cataracts, and she had problems getting a good shot. And when I was sitting in the chair, I had a seizure. And man, it was crazy. I didn't have flashbacks like I did the previous time when I was in a chair and I got stuck in the eye with a needle, but it messed me up for a while. And then I had a bunch of interviews to do, and I had the seizure, and it took a little while to recover, so my brain wasn't working all that well. But it's crazy how I flashed back to an image in the graphic novel at that time. So first of all, Roger Richards, Jordan Sather, David Wilcock, and I would all like to thank the community. We were blocked on Facebook for advertising, and we had very, very little time to advertise anyway for Above Majestic, because it just happened very quickly. If a lot of people were worried that Above Majestic would have problems because no one knew about it, performing. But on the first day, it became #1, and it became number 18, I think, on overall movies watched on iTunes. This was because of the community. Thousands and thousands of you rented or bought this movie and promoted it like we never could through social media. We want to thank you very much. So if you would like to order a DVD that will help you throw your own red pill party, please visit secretspaceprogram.com. You should be able to order a DVD and then throw an interesting party for your friends and family. You thought it was interesting having discussions about Trump over the table. This should really get the juices going. So let's red pill everybody. So, Full Disclosure Project and SBA Entertainment would like to thank everyone for making our movie a success, and also invite y'all into 2019. 2019 is full of possibilities, and it is up to you to make those possibilities come true. It is really a time for this community to come together. There's been a lot of division, but if we can make a New Year's resolution to try to come together, quit nitpicking at each other's differences, and go out into the streets and peacefully meditate and hold a sign, discussing advanced technologies and how it's going to make a difference in this world. A lot of us in this community, we think disclosure should be this altruistic, spiritual thing that people wake up to in the community. I mean, in the mainstream. But mainstream people who are still asleep, they don't care about all of that. We need to focus on discussing advanced technologies, how it can affect this civilization that is so backwards, and how we could advance overnight. Everyone could live a longer, healthier life. It wouldn't be full of, life isn't supposed to be full of all of the stress. So let's all meditate and focus on a reality that looks back on this one as a nightmare, and that new reality is one that we realize that we're co-creating, and we'll create it into 2019 and 2020 and beyond. Thank you, everyone. Have a happy holidays, whatever your belief system, and have a happy new year. Thank you.